Hey folks, this is Ken from Silly Westies again. This is part 3 in the construction of my the propane bulk facility. I've modified the plan a little bit. First of all, got a very crude picture here. I drew this out from the pictures in the magazine. They were N-scale drawings, and anyway, most of that they were using for the building. They were using some of these blocks from Pike Stuff. They're really nice, and I do plan on using them on mine, but I got to thinking, I've done a process that works really well. And this is my structure right here. I'm building it with the sign technique. I'm using several things here. First of all, I'm using a sign, and also for some of the supports, I'm using just sprues. As long as I've got a fairly decent corner, it doesn't maybe tuck all the way back in the corner, but it's a fairly strong joint. Okay, there's another thing that I'm doing. I've got several samples here, and I wanted to see stucco. I've not seen a lot of stuff in stucco, especially in any kind of model form. I've got several different samples here that I've made, and several of them are where this is where I've done the treating of it, and this is painted up here. One of them is gloss and one of them is dull coated. I don't know if you can see that well. That's one type. Then I had another one. This is a quickie one. This is again the untreated side. This is the shiny painted side. I just had some gloss paint and then I dull coated it here. I don't know if you can see that very well. And this one is really rough. This one I took a small paintbrush and I really loosened it up and glued it up. What I'm going to get down to is what I'm using is a mixture of several nasty chemicals. 2 parts xylol, 1 part MEK, and 1 part acetone. We use that. I have a little bottle a friend of mine made. It holds a paintbrush, and it melts plastics. But the nice thing about this is, I thought, I'd like to try something on sidewalks. I wanted to try something give a nice texture. So this is what I'm doing. I'm doing the texture on the building here, and I'm giving it a stucco effect. Once I paint it and then dull coat it, it's going to turn out really nice. Also, you'll notice I built up the windows. I've got a little bit of a build up around there. I wanted a nice thick block wall. So, and then I'm going to apply the door, and the doors will just be flat like a steel door, and they'll swing to the inside. On here, I've modified. I'm using a Pike Stuff door. I modified it. I didn't really like the size of it. Then this is going to have a dock here, about a 6-foot dock, and I don't have the roof for it yet, but it'll have an overhang. But I'm going to use the block. I'm going to build out the bottom part of the dock. All the way around is going to have the dock made out of cinder blocks. So I think this is going to look really good. Give me any feedback on this. Some people I've seen where they spray paint it and they've used sand. I just not seen a whole lot trying to give the effect of stucco. But I think with the once it's painted and you look up it close, yeah, it's gonna be kind of hard, but you'll see the texture. This particular one, this is a daub effect. I'm going to show you here how I do this. I'm going to have to take this off. You'll have to bear with me. And I'm going to take the camera off, and I don't have all the ways of holding the lens, but I'm going to show you how I do this. First of all, I'm gonna paint this on here. I'm gonna flood it pretty good. Get plenty of glue on there and let it pond up on there. See? I'll probably just bring it to you. Let you see how I do this. I get a pretty good pool of the glue on here. Just so happens I'll have a pair of steps coming out here. Okay, I've got another brush that's a little bit stiffer, and then what I'm going to do is this. See, I'm getting that stippling effect, you see? See how that's working right there? And there's actually even a pulling as it starts to dry. The glue is dry. This is a slow setting glue. It works really good for me. See how that's starting to come out there like that? I'm getting that stippling effect. And by doing that, you just keep doing that until you get the texture. Now it's going to start pulling a little bit. I see it starting to pull a little bit. You see? And if you have to, just add a little more glue onto it right there if that's not the texture you want, or if you have to start blending in. Just get you a little bit more. I even did inside where I built it up for the block, and once it's painted, I don't think you'll see the seam. If it is, it's so minute, I don't think it'll make much difference. But see, just do that little bit of stippling, and I can feel it pulling. Now if I come back over here, I can really feel the brush picking up and setting down, and you can really get a real rough texture if that's what you want. You know, there's so many different types of stucco. I've done stucco myself on my own house, and depending on how it's setting up, almost just like the real glue here, you can really get a rough finish. You don't want it too rough, because our eyes got to scale down the texture. But I think it'll be enough to be noticed. I'm not going to say I'm cornerstoning the market of how to do this technique, but I think it's kind of cool, and it's a little rough there. If it's too rough, just get you a little bit of extra of this glue. Go over there. I don't think it'll distort it too bad. Just kind of daub that on lightly, and then just start going back over it. You see? It gets a really, really nice effect. You'll see the side that's untreated, and here's the side that is treated. Can you see that texture? It's got a really nice texture to the face of the plastic, and I think that's what it's shooting for. As far as like where you could show brick coming through, I don't know. I haven't tried that yet. If anybody's willing to give that a trial sample, like I've done my little samples here, give me any kind of feedback. I'm all willing to try something new. Again, these are several different effects. If you can use a different, without the brush, you want to try some other kind of a tool that doesn't stick like paper, because I know that it's actually even stuck to paper, then that's been a problem. Anyway, that's a really nice effect. It takes, you know, if you got a lot of big area to have to do, make sure you got a fan. I'm not running the fan right now, so you can get plenty of ventilation. No one guy's getting sick or getting brain cells killed or whatever. But this would work really good for a lot of you modelers out in Santa Fe, California, a lot of your western railroads. If you want to do a lot of your passenger station with a stucco, I think it would work out really well. Maybe you guys have done this. I don't know. I just kind of tried this out by accident. I found this out, and so it worked out really, really well. Please give me a thumbs up. Any of your feedback would really be appreciated. But anyway, give it a try. I think you'll really enjoy it. This is Ken from Silly Westy saying God bless and have a good day.